Hey everyone, so we're going to give you a little bit of a class plan to work on at home. So I'm going to give you a warm-up and some drills and some progressions that you can work on so that you kind of have some structure at home, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to warm up, okay? So for the warm-up, what I want you guys to do, and you can do it together with your family, okay, is nothing too crazy, all right? What I want you to do is I want you to do 10 jumping jacks, I want you to do 10 squat jacks, I want you to hold an iron chair for 10 seconds and a plank for 10 seconds, okay? So the jumping jacks, make sure your hands start by your side and do like a really good perfect jumping jack. Like clap, clap, which would be a perfect jumping jack. So 10 of those, and then a squat jack, you would go apart, touch, and then together, all right? Apart, together. You can jump a little bit higher if you want a little bit more of a workout, okay? And then you're gonna do an iron chair. So after that, you're gonna try to sit real low, hands out, okay? Hold that for 10 seconds, all right? Once you're done, you're gonna drop down and you're gonna go to a low plank and you're gonna hold that for 10 seconds, all right? So I'm gonna give you just kind of a little bit of how you would progress through it, okay? So you're gonna go 10 jumping jacks, okay? I'm not gonna do all 10 just for time, okay? Then you would go to an iron chair, and then you would go to a squat jack here and go straight to them. Then, good to go right to an iron chair in your last one. Hold that for 10 seconds. And then once you're done, drop right down. Don't even stand up, just drop right down to your plank and hold for 10 seconds. All right, and I want you to do that 5 times. All right, 5 times, all the way through. As you get to the last ones, it's gonna get a little tiring, but you should probably feel sweat going and you're gonna get, and you're gonna feel your body warm up. You definitely don't wanna start doing explosive motions without a good warm up, okay? So 10 jumping jacks, 10 squat jacks, 10-second iron chair, 10-second plank, all right? 5 times, all right? And then I think you'll be pretty warmed up for the next part, okay? So this is where I want you to pause the video, take the time and do that and try to do it at a pace where you don't have to rest, okay? So really commit to doing it all the way through, no rest, okay? But if you have to rest between sets, try not to rest for any more than 30 seconds, okay? So, pause the video and get to it. All right, so hopefully you're a little warmed up now, all right? So what I want you to do is I want you to glove up, all right? And for the intermediate and advanced belt, juniors, right, we're gonna do this kind of little review sequence here, all right? And so what I want you to do is I want you to do this whole sequence 10 times at least, all right? So the sequence is gonna be lead hook combo, rear hook combo, right kick, left kick, all right? And what I want you to do is I want you to enter in and exit out on each, especially each hand combo, okay? So for example, I enter in, 1, 2, 3, exit out. Enter in, 1, 2, 3, exit out. Okay, then I step in, kick, then I switch kick, get back to my stand, start again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, kick, kick, and exit out, all right? Again, 10 times. Now, you might not have a body to hit, okay, but you can do that combo to the air, all right, making sure you're throwing good form, making sure you're entering in, then you're exiting out. If you have something that's safe enough to hit or kick or whatever, if you have your gloves, obviously that'll make it a little bit easier and safer for you to hit something, but obviously make sure that you're being careful with whoever you're training with or whatever you're training on, okay? So 10 times, all right, again, one more time. Lead hook combo, stepping in, 1, 2, 3, step out. Rear hook combo, 1, 2, 3, step out. Step in, kick. Step in, kick, switch kick, and then back out, all right? 10 times, and I would say increasing the speed and the power every single time. So as you start getting to the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th set, that you're actually going more full speed, full power, if you can, all right? If it's safe for you to do so. And of course, you're not limited to 10, you can always do more than that. So I want you to pause the video, and I want you to go through that right now, okay? All right, go. All right, so now you got done with your offense, now it's time to review your defense, all right? So what I want you to do is, you can do this to the air, you can do it with a partner, Your partner doesn't necessarily have to have hand pads or anything. You can even just use like a stick, probably hopefully a padded one, unless you're hardcore and you want to go. I'm not giving you any ideas, but just saying, you know, you can use some kind of object, a pool noodle or something would probably be a little bit safer. But you can do that when you use that to kind of work your defense. So what I want you to do is I want you to work cover, so you're gonna work all your high defense and you're gonna work your low defense, all right? So you're gonna go cover, then you're gonna duck, advance, you can add the pull, and then you're gonna add the check. All right, and that's gonna be all the stuff that you need to know, all right? So again, you're gonna go cover, then duck, pull, for greening up, pull, making sure you're resetting between each one, okay? Then check, and check, all right? And I want you to go through that 10 times. So 10 sets of going through all of that, okay? So one more time, all right? Go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 moves, 10 times, going through it progressively faster, all right? So do that 10 times. After you do that 10 times, however long it takes to you, increasing speed as you go, provided it's safe. And remember, don't just increase speed if stuff starts getting a little sloppy or you start making some mistakes. Make sure you slow it down, all right? Then what I want you to do is I want you to put on a timer for about 2 to 3 minutes. And I want you to have your, maybe a partner if you can do it, or if you need to do it to the air, you can do it at random, but I want you to do everything at random. So what that means is he can swing at me, but I don't have to defend it exactly in that order, and he can also add the kicks in there. So for 2 to 3 minutes, you'll do something to the effect of this, right? So I'll be here, go ahead. All right, something like that. And again, you can increase the speed with that as well. So if that wasn't challenging enough for you, you can always increase the speed or have somebody increase the speed on you. And if you don't have a partner to practice with, you can literally just you have to use your imagination. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Picturing each side, and then 7 and 8. You might not be able to do the randomness drill, but you can move around a little bit, almost like you're shadow boxing, move, and you can duck and move, and you can check and block, and you know, again, you might have to use your imagination, but there's always ways that you can do it without a partner, okay? So not having a partner isn't an excuse. There's always ways you can get, some work in. So work that defense, all right? So again, go through it all in sequence, and then do like 2 or 3 minutes random, and if you want to do multiple rounds of that too, just to get some extra work in, highly recommended, okay? So work on that defense, and in the next video, we're gonna work on putting some stuff together, all right? So get to it. All right, so the last drill that I want you guys to do for your striking is I want you to do the same, we're gonna call it the same side return drill. So what that means is you're gonna do your defense and your offense together, and you're gonna return with whichever side, kind of mirrored side, that they attack you with, all right? So for example, all right, if my hands are up, and he swings on this side and I cover on that side, then I return with that hand, hook, hook, cross, okay? And by the way, we talk about the concept of entry and exit. If somebody's attacking me, that's essentially their entry. So that takes the entry part out of it for you, but you should still exit, okay? So for example, if I'm here and he steps in to hit me and I cover and then I counter with that, right? 1, 2, 3, I counter from that. When I'm done, I should exit out. Okay? So always make sure that you're adding that exit in anything that you do, all right? So if he hits me on that hand, so if he hits me on the right hand, bam, I'm gonna counter with the right hand. If he hits me with the left hand, I'm gonna counter with the left hand. And you could do that with any of those upper defenses. So if he swings with that side and I duck, then I follow up, okay? If he swings with that side and I duck, I follow up, okay? If I pull, then again, you could technically counter with either side, but I would use the same side. So if he swings with that hand, I pull, 1, 2, 3. If he swings with that side, I pull away, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. on each of those. So that's your same side counter, all right? Now, for the kicks, what you do is, if he kicks me with this leg and I block with my left, then I want to go right to a switch kick from there. So you're actually switching as you come down. You don't step down and then switch. You do the switching motion as you come down from the block. And then from the other side, if I block on my right, then I do a stutter. And I counter that way, okay? So what you're gonna wanna do is go through it in sequence so you're practicing the motions. Don't add that extra challenge of randomness yet, okay? So have a partner or use your imagination if you have to, if you don't have a partner, but work that where he swings, I cover, counter, okay? Other side, counter, go through all your defense. Then he does the other side again. I duck, 1, 2, 3. Then I duck, 1, 2, 3. Then I pull, if you're advanced belt, 1, 2, 3. Then I pull, 1, 2, 3. Then he kicks, oh, and I counter. Then he kicks, oh, and I counter, okay? And then go through that, you know, up to 10 times. So go through it 10 times, right? Go through each one 10 times, kind of going in sequence just like you did on some of the other drills, okay? Then once you're done, okay, again, put on a timer and then have it be random, okay? Have your partner kind of make you defend at random, and you're gonna counter at random with the appropriate side, with that same side return. So I wanna see you guys work that same side return and be able to defend as you go, all right? So again, put on the timer, do a couple rounds of it, maybe 2 or 3 rounds where you're being random. And again, you can go slow, you can go fast, but make sure you're going at the speed that's appropriate for your development, okay? Again, sometimes people just they want to feel good, so they go fast, but remember, fast, form, accuracy, speed, timing, okay? Remember that and make sure all of that is in place, especially that form and accuracy before you start going like Mach 5 or something, okay? So take a measured approach, be safe, have fun with it, and then we'll get into a little bit of grappling in the next video, all right? So pause the video, get to it, 10 rounds where it's predictable, and then a couple minute rounds where it's random, all right? Okay, go ahead. Okay, so now we're gonna practice the grappling portion of the cycle, all right? So the first thing I want you guys to do is I want you to grab a partner, all right? And I want you to practice the sequence of the positions. So no submissions, just making sure that you have the positions down, and just remember position before submission. If you don't have good position, you're not gonna have good submission. So everybody loves the submissions, but position is actually more important, okay? So what you're gonna do is from the top, if you're the person on the top, you're gonna work on taking the back, right? And then the person's gonna escape and you're gonna remount, and you're gonna do that in a never-ending sequence. So we're gonna go through it one time, all right? So you can kind of see what we're talking about, all right? And you're gonna start mounted on top of your partner, okay? They are going to just roll over, all right? So go ahead, roll over. I go modified mount. I take the back, right? He rolls to his side. I'm here, maybe he makes sure I'm good. He starts to escape, hips to the ceiling. As he walks himself out, I go over and I remount, okay? And that's the sequence. And you can add, thank you, sir. You can add speed to that sequence if you want to give yourself an extra challenge. I actually recommend that you do speed it up. And I want you to go through that sequence never ending 10 times, okay? So as soon as you get back in the mount, just have your partner start the sequence again, all right? 10 times and do it that way, all right? Now, if you're with a partner, if you guys are both doing it and you're with a partner who also does martial arts, then if you do the other side of it, then you also be working the escape, okay? But let's say that maybe you're with a partner who isn't gonna be doing it on you, all right? Or doing the whole sequence on you. You can still have your partner, regardless of their size, take your back and you can work the escape. And the way that I would recommend doing that and making sure you're doing that a couple times is sit and have your partner get behind you and take your back, all right? And then have them pull you to one side, all right? And then work on attacking the hands, getting your hips to the ceiling. They don't have to remount you or anything like that. All you're gonna do is, and again, push on the legs, walk over the legs, do whatever you gotta do, but start walking, getting your back to the mat. And then what I would recommend that you do is you actually try to bridge your hips and push on top of them, and then turn over, and maybe take something like a side control once you're done, okay? So if your partner's not gonna be doing the sequence on you, they can still take your back and have you work the escape, because you do need to know how to do that. So make sure that you go through the positional sequence from the top 10 times, but also that you're working the escape 10 times as well, all right? So be mindful on that. Watch the other videos that add a little extra instruction in there if you need to, but do that 10 times. Make sure you work the position, then the escape, then in the next video we're gonna do, or in the next section, we're gonna do the submissions, and then eventually we'll put it all together, okay? So pause the video, okay? 10 times on the positional, 10 times on the escape, all right? And we'll see you for the next part. All right, so for this next section, what I want you to do is grab your partner, and I want you to work the submissions, okay? So for the blue, for purple, blue, blue with a stripe, you guys gotta be able to do the arm bar, and then for the green and up, you gotta be able to do the arm bar and the rear choke, okay? So we're gonna go over both. All right, sir, if you could sit, please. All right, so all you're gonna do is just take your partner's back, all right? Now, if you are, or really any rank, you'll take the back and you're gonna pull your partner to the underside, okay? And then you're gonna attack for the armbar. So you're gonna sit, you're gonna pull to the side, hand goes behind the head, clasp the arms, get the leg over the head, push him to the floor, thumb up, and finish. Again, we have more instruction in another video, but that's what I want you to do, pull on one side. Now, I actually want you to do that 10 times on each side. So you were here, and you pulled to the side, and you did it 10 times on that side. I want you to switch your grip, and then pull into that underside, and do it on that side 10 times, all right? So it's gonna get good at both sides, especially when it comes to jiu-jitsu and submissions. You don't always get to choose the side that is given to you, so being able to do it on both sides is really important, okay? So I want you to work that both sides, and then for the rear choke, same thing. So for green and up, you can do it where, if you want to just kind of review, you can practice it from that seated position where you're just working that choke, all right? Be very careful with who you're partnering with. So if you are working that choke on somebody, make sure they know to tap out, all right? And be very mindful, mindful of safety when you guys are doing this, okay? Now, if you're gonna do it from the back, what I want you to do is practice it 10 times, all right? And again, you can always do it a little more. If you do it less, that's up to you, all right? But 10 is kind of a good measure, right? What I want you to do is pull them to, let's say if I had this side over, pull them to that over side, and then finish the choke there, all right? And then you're gonna do that on 10 times on both sides. So I do it here, pull them to the side, finish the choke, switch my grip, pull them to the side, do it 10 times that way. If you wanna add a bonus to it, you can actually pull them to the weak side, right, the underside, and then transition and do the choke that way, which is always good practice as well, all right? So make sure you work the armbar, and then make sure you work that choke, all right? And again, using 10 as a measure, so you can do it a little less, you can do it a little more, all right? Never hurts to train it more. It's not gonna take you that long to do it 10 times, right? But do it mindfully, take your time with it, don't rush, okay? And then we're gonna kind of put it into a sequence and make it all a little bit more random so you can train your reflexes, okay? So pause the video, make sure you work your submissions a bunch of times, and then we'll see you for the next video, all right? All right, so you drilled your submissions, now it's time to put it all together, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start where you're gonna go through the sequence, but every time you take the back, you're gonna wanna finish with a submission. Now, if you're a purple to blue with a stripe, you're gonna wanna make sure that your partner always falls to your weak side. If they don't fall to your weak side, or when I say weak side, I mean underside, then you could also just do a remount. So that's how you could kind of add the randomness. And then for the advanced belts, if they fall to the other side, you can do the choke. So it will look something like this, okay? So you're gonna start mounted, all right? And he can give me some of that mount maintenance stuff, which you guys should already know because you've done it at the beginner level, where you can push up on me and make me kind of do some swims and push side to side a little bit. Again, stuff you guys should already know. But then when he rolls over, okay, he goes, I take his back, and then what I'm gonna do is gonna depend on what side he falls to. So if he falls to my underside here, okay, then I'll finish with the arm bar. So I wanna notice that's where I'm at, and I finish with the arm bar. Okay? Now, if we do the same sequence, right over second, okay, and he falls to the side that is over, then if you're a purple, blue, or blue with a stripe, just do a remount. Have them escape and do a remount. And then if you're an advanced belt, do the choke, okay? So he rolls, I take his back, now he falls to this side. So again, if I'm an advanced belt, then that's my indicator to finish with the choke, okay? If you're an intermediate belt, then that's your indicator, go ahead, sir, to work your remount, and then you can do the sequence again, and maybe have them fall to the other side, okay? So what you're gonna wanna do is go through the sequence about 10 times, all right? Having your partner kind of fall randomly to one side or the other and have you do the proper reaction. So if they fall and the underside is on the ground, armbar. If they fall and the overside's on the ground, you're gonna do the remount. If you're and you can do that as an advanced belt too, but if they start to escape at any point, you do the remount. But if you're an intermediate belt, you do the remount. If you're an advanced belt, you finish with the choke, all right? And again, working on smoothness of transition, okay? So doing that where you're getting at least 10 or more, you could also just put on a timer and go for time. So you'll go through it for 5 minutes and you'll do as many submissions as you can, making sure that the form is good and everything like that, okay? And that'll pretty much wrap up your practice. If you get through that, then you're gonna have a pretty good handle on everything that you're doing, okay? So I want you to end the video, but I want you to go through that sequence, and once you get that, I think you guys will be good to go, all right? So good luck with everything, all right? And we'll see you guys on the mats.